Chapter 4. I'm far from being a perfect lady of the court. It's only a matter of time before people see right through me. Sunlight shone through the polished windows into Mal and Evie's dorm. Evie had made herself at home. A bejeweled periodic table of the elements dominated a wall, and her work table hosted spools of fabric, her sewing machine, an assortment of multi-sized boxes, colored pencils, and pages of clothing designs she had drawn. Beside the work table, Evie's handmade dresses hung on a rack. One look at Evie's side of the room, and it was clear fashion designing was her passion. Mal's half of the room was much more of a zoo. The lizard in an aquarium tank on Mal's bedside table didn't help matters. It bore a sign that said, "Don't feed my mom," for inside was none other than the evil Maleficent, who had been transformed at King Ben's coronation ceremony from a giant powerful dragon to a puny green lizard. As the lizard sat on the mini throne inside her aquarium, Mal stood on a fitting platform so Evie could fit her cotillion gown. The blue and yellow garment with its layers of tulle and darkly glinting gems was crafted for a true queen. Evie yanked the dress tight in the bodice and pinned it. Mal squawked, "Evie, I cannot breathe." Evie lifted Mal's arm. "Well, you can breathe after cotillion," she smiled. Mal let out a sarcastic laugh. "Yeah, well, I sincerely doubt that. I have like 20 more events directly behind it, and I can't even remember what a single one of them is right now." Mal looked longingly at her leather Isle of the Lost jacket, hanging on a hook above the TV. She thought about when she had been rotten to the core with her purple hair and jacket, and feared and respected by everyone on the Isle. "Evie," Mal said in a distant way. Evie held a measuring tape across Mal's gown. "Do you ever wonder what we'd be doing right now if we were still back on the Isle?" asked Mal. Her mind flooded to her friends' hideout out there, where they had spent time plotting and planning, crafting mischievous schemes to cause serious trouble. Evie laughed, not really paying attention to Mal's question. "That's funny," she said, turning. "Well, would you look at who's on TV?" She grabbed the remote, cranked up the volume, and listened to the television while studying some of her sketches. Behind her, Mal plopped down in a sea of yellow tulle on her canopy bed. She and Evie watched an old clip playing on the screen. In it, Mal was sporting a beaded sheer dress with a shawl and a delicate gold headpiece. Aladdin in a cream-colored suit and hat, and Jasmine in a long, sheer turquoise dress greeted Mal and King Ben. Servers placed a meal in the center of a room, filled with cushions and candles. Aladdin escorted Mal to her seat, while Ben led Jasmine to hers. Aladdin and Ben sat down across from each other, and a waitress uncovered a silver dish. Mal picked up a piece of meat. She bit into it and gagged, but covered it up with a quick smile. When no one was looking, Mal spit it out into a napkin which she stashed behind her, and beamed at her company. Watching the TV, Mal blanched. 6 months ago, no one thought King Ben and his girl from the wrong side of the bridge would last, said a news reporter. "Yeah, no kidding," Mal mumbled. The news reporter continued, "I don't know her secret, but Mal is fitting in beautifully now." Footage played of Mal at the press conference earlier that day. She smiled and waved with her white lace gloves. Mal must be counting down the days till the royal cotillion, where she will officially become a lady of the court. Mal's eyes opened wide. "Don't remind me," she thought. She scooted around her bed and took the etiquette book, The Lady's Manners, from her bedside table. Then she pulled her spell book from under her pillow, opened it, and enchanted, "Read it fast as lightning speed. Remember everything I need." She quickly turned the pages of The Lady's Manners and was able to magically absorb the book's facts. Evie walked over to Mal. "Well, I know Mal's secret to fitting in, and Ben wouldn't like it one bit." She crossed her arms. "Haven't you guys had enough secrets between the two of you?" Mal looked up from The Lady's Manners. "You saw what I was like before I started using the spell book, okay?" she said. "I was a complete disaster." She resumed flipping through the pages of the book. Well, personally, as your best friend, I strongly believe you should put the spellbook in the museum along with my mirror, said Evie. She was referring to the magic mirror Evil Queen had once given her so she could find and steal Fairy Godmother's wand. Evie had turned over a new leaf. No more wickedness. She grabbed Mel's spellbook and Mal pouted at Evie and then shut the lady's manners. Don't give me the face, said Evie. Put the pout away. Mal frowned. You know I'm right, added Evie. Don't you ever miss just running wild and breaking all the rules? Mal asked. Evie grinned. Like stealing, lying, and fighting? Mal smiled dreamily at Evie's words. Yeah. Evie's grin faded. No, she shouted, breaking Mal out of her fantasy. What? Mal started. Why would we? Evie laughed. Come here. She took Mal's hands and led her off the bed and toward the TV. Look at where we are. We're in Oradon. And we're Oradon girls now. Evie gazed at the screen and her face broke into a smile. A video showed Mal dressed in a crystal-encrusted gown with Ben, who wore a smart suit. They were seated at a table covered by a white tablecloth with strawberries in a dish and steaming cups of coffee. Ben fed a chocolate-covered strawberry to Mal. She then took a strawberry in her white lace-gloved hand, dunked it into the molten chocolate, and fed it to Ben. She got chocolate on his face and helped him wipe it off, laughing happily. Ben dipped another strawberry in the chocolate and fed it to her. Mal took a bite, nodded dreamily, and nestled her head in the crook of Ben's neck. And of course there's Mal's wardrobe, exclaimed the news reporter. Oradon has never seen such a fresh, exciting look. Our hottest new designer, Evie, just keeps surprising us. See? This is the land of opportunity, Evie faced Mal. We can be whatever we want to be here. So please, let's just leave the past in the past, okay? Besides, look at these. Have you seen the shoes? Evie lifted a pair of blue and gold high-heeled shoes off her work table. I mean, can we talk about the shoes? Those are severe. Mal forced a little laugh. The truth was, Mal wasn't ready to leave her past behind, and she had never felt more distant from her best friend than she did at that moment.